Hello and welcome to Not So Awesome Review. And today we are looking at the Halo Spartan Collection Spartan Palmer action figure by Wicked Cool Toys. So Spartan Palmer, not what I expected them to do, but decided to pick this one up because she is a character in the series, and the only other one I actually want from this line is Noble 6, which they didn't have unfortunately, but that is what it is. I'll get it eventually. I'm really looking forward to that one, but yeah, Spartan Palmer here looks good. We're going to start with the aesthetics like always, and the armor and everything looks good. The detail is there. Is the paint there? Not so much. She does have like some detailing around the armor with these little red markings and everything. She looks like she should look like from the game, which is good, but yeah, something about the color, the white, off-white, gray color of her armor does come off plasticky. Even the black painted, or I guess it's gray painted on her armor, comes off a little bit plasticky. The black looks fine and everything, but yeah, there's a heavy, I don't even know what you want to call it, not wash, but dry brushing of silver throughout her body. And when I say heavy, I mean it is definitely a lot on the armor, on the helmet, so much so that her civilian head actually has a streak on it, because I guess, I don't know if this is painted by machines or people, but something or someone messed up and got like a line straight across her face, and I tried washing it off gently, didn't come off, but it's fine. I'm planning on not repainting the face, but detailing it a little bit. But anyways, accessory-wise, she does come with two M6G Magnums. Yes, I'm reading that off of the box. And her scout helmets and the MA5D assault rifle. Just because I know people get mad when I don't say the names of the weapons right. My only problem with the pistols, honestly, is the fact that there's a little hole on the left side, which I'll show right now. No, actually, it's on the inside. So on the inside, we have a little hole right there where they peg into either side. But for both pistols, it's on both sides. There's not one that has it on the inside, so basically, if you want her holding her pistol, they won't match, which is, I know, like, really nitpicking here, but yeah, they won't match the way she is having them. So one will always be facing forward, and one will always be facing backwards when they're pegged in. So, kind of sucks there. I wish they had done the hole on different sides, but I kind of get it. You know, it's just the molding, and it's easier to do it this way. Aside from that, they look good. They fit in the hand fine. We get two trigger fingers so she can hold it, which they're not really so much trigger fingers as they're just hands with openings at every finger. So I actually think that's a lot better than just a dedicated trigger finger, because it gives us a little bit more options. Again, the assault rifle looks good. She does come with a pair of fists, a pair of open hands, and kind of a pointing hand. And again, like I said, she comes with her face, her unmasked helmeted head, which I want to say this is the only other figure aside from the other Noble team member. I forgot her name already, but Kat. It's the only other one that we've had an actual face sculpt from this line anyway, because I don't think Emil came with one, did he? Because he never took his helmet off, I think, actually. And obviously Master Chief doesn't have one, and the other Spartans that we've gotten in the line so far are just kind of generic Spartans. So yeah, they actually improved. Not saying Kat's was really bad, but it wasn't great. But this one, the face print on it looks really good. The actual paint on the skin tone could be better, and that's what I'm gonna touch up eventually. But like I said, it does have a streak throughout the face, and in her helmet looks fine, though there are some issues with the way kind of that is, but I'll talk about that more in a second. Anyways, taking a quick closer look, you can see what I was talking about with the head right here. Maybe there's a streak of silver right there on the head, but the face isn't too bad, and you know, popping it on and off isn't hard. Though funny enough, when I took off the helmet the first time, or when I was trying to take off the head the first time, because she does come with the civilian head on the body, or her regular head, I guess, it popped off the torso, and when I took it out of the packaging, it popped off the torso, and when I mess with it a little bit too much, it pops off the torso. So just be aware that the torso does pop off really easy on this figure, so much so that yeah, that took like no effort at all to do. It just pops off, pops back on. We're gonna put this to the side because it does tend to fall off, but before I forget, it does have one of those little peg thingies where you take out the peg, if you can see it there. You can turn it around and plug it back into the armor just like the Chief did, and it's still a really great system. It's a great idea, but it's not perfect because this one does tend to fall off a lot easier than the side ones. I haven't really tried too much. I've just had her pose with the pistol since I got her, but yeah, be careful with that because it does kind of tend to want to pop off pretty easy. Like I said with the head, it's weird because we get this armor thing, right? Her helmet is really long. So the way they did the neck piece is it's really long. So when you have the helmet on, it really does limit the articulation. When you have the regular head on, let's pop it on here. It doesn't look too bad. You know, it looks just kind of like the way it did in the game. And I don't hate it, but it does look weird when you give it a turn to the left or a turn to the right, because then we have this kind of flat thing going on there. It stops her from looking down. She can look up a little bit, but not too much. And there's no pivoting. So her regular head has limited articulation. And so does the helmet here, which can shift back and forward because there is a hinge there. So if you really wanted to hinge it forward and hinge it back, you can. You can look left and right. Again, you get that flat thing there. Can look up a little bit. Can't really look down. And yeah, not too much of a pivot or anything. So the head is definitely limited. Again, it's the design of the armor. Is it accurate? Yes. Do I wish they had found a workaround? Yes. Could I think of a workaround right now? No. I honestly can't. It's just unique to the armor from the Halo 5, Halo 4 games. The Spartans from these games, the Mjolnir, what is it, 4? Spartan 4? Whatever they are. Yeah, their armor, it's not my favorites. I don't like it too much. I don't think a lot of people did. A lot of people like the classic look. And yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It doesn't help. But anyways, I will say they did do some improvements with this figure. And then they took some step backs. Like I said, with the body thing, it does pop off easier. But the way the inside is now is the cutting away, which funny enough, I did this to mine, of the left and the right is kind of there so that she actually gets really good pivot side to side right there. She can actually lean back really good, way better than Cat could. Lean forward a little bit, not too much, but again, that's kind of the nature of the armor. Even though this is a little bit rubbery, it's not too soft. It's not hard enough to the point where it's stopping it from actually leaning forward. It's just that's where it kind of stops anymore, and it will pop off. So yeah, an improvement there. It's not bad. I actually really like that. The places they took stuff away from, though, include the arms. The arms can go flat out, which is good. It does have the rotation, which is fine and everything. You know, we got our rotation at the upper arm right there. We got our double jointed. Let me lock the yeah, there we go. Got the double jointed elbow right there. That does really good. Rotation at the wrist. No hinge for the gun hands, so that's going to be disappointing for a lot of people. But no more butterfly joints, which there's room there for a butterfly joint. Again, Cat had a butterfly joint. Master Chief has a butterfly joint. I think everybody else has a butterfly joint. Don't know why Palmer doesn't. I get that she's like a smaller figure. Everything on her is a little bit proportioned smaller. Even compared to Cat, I believe Cat's armor was a little bit bigger. I would do a comparison, but she's in storage somewhere. But yeah, she definitely needed that butterfly joint. Maybe not need, but could have used. Can she move her arms inwards a good amount without it? Yeah. But just seems kind of backwards to get rid of it, especially when the innovation that happened here at the torso probably didn't cost really anything. If anything, you just reworked the joint. You're not adding any extra pieces. You're more or less taking pieces away. Don't know if they're going to do that with the other figures. Don't know if Noble 6 has it, but just wanted to point that out. The legs aren't bad, but they're not great. They can kick forward normal like that if you kind of... Whoa. Well, that happens a lot, actually. I actually want to talk about that while it's off. This should have been the drop-down method from, like, Figure Arts and stuff, because it limits the range. And it's just one long bar, so there's really no reason for this not to be a drop-down method kind of hinge for the legs. Because, like I said, she can kick forward If you turn the leg, she can kick forward that much. Can't kick back because of the butt plate. Well, the butt plate's up there, but can't do that. Can't go outwards because of the armor, which if you could lower the leg and tuck the armor under it, we could have gotten a little bit more range than just that, which isn't that great. So that's why I was saying, if we had to drop down method of legs here, we could kick forward a little bit more easier and straight, and more importantly, we could do the splits a lot better, because here it's limited. If you could just pull it down and then turn it in, that would have been great. So something to keep in mind in case anyone from there actually watches this, which would be amazing. But anyways, double jointed knee right there, good enough for me. There's a shift right here at the upper thigh. It is a cut, so that's good right there. Then we get the back, the very far forward, and there is a little bit, I want to say, there's a little bit of a turn. There isn't really much of a ankle pivot, so a little bit disappointing there, but I guess it doesn't matter much because we can't really do the splits anyway. I know Spartans don't do crazy acrobatic things, but they're not static robots either. They do kind of do some cool things, and it would be nice to get it into some cooler poses with better articulation. But yeah, so articulation wise, it's getting there. Bring back the butterfly joints, and I will say that it is a very big improvement, especially with the torso being able to lean back and to the side so much. Not so much to forward, but again, I don't know how they're going to do that with any figure. I'm sure there's a way, but for now, I'm happy with the torso. I could live with it. Just, I wish they would bring back the butterfly joint and definitely do the drop down method for the legs, because I think that will help a lot more. But yeah, let me move on here to some size comparisons. Okay, so first off, here she is next to Spartan Emil and Master Chief from the original wave, and or the original release, I should say. She is smaller than both of them, so looks good. They actually all look good together. I wish I had Kelly with me, not Kelly, I keep saying Kelly, Cat with me, so we could do a little bit more of a comparison with the females. I apologize, because I know there's somebody out there who's going to really wish I did that, and we'll be combing through videos trying to see the comparisons, because that's something I usually do, but they look good together. Honestly, the paint, again, could be better. That's going to be one of my bigger complaints, especially with Emil here. I haven't actually had time to customize him. I wanted to, like, the second I bought him, but never got around to it. Chief, he does have a wash to him, and I think I painted some green on certain places on him, but yeah, again, they look good together. Height-wise, I think works really well. It's actually really cool to see them all next to each other. I'm sure it would be really cool if I got the other Spartans and they would all look nice together. Only reason I'm not getting them is because we don't have any Covenant in this scale, which sucks. I want Covenant. I want Elites. I want the Flood. I want Brutes and everything. So I'm hoping that they expand this toy line to include them. I know the smaller ones have them. They look great. Make them in this scale and I will be so happy. But yeah, let's move these aside really quick. Hopefully she doesn't fall over, because you did have a little bit of an issue trying to stand. But here it is next to the Lightning Collection Red Ranger. A lot taller. Height-wise, I actually think it does work, because Spartans should be a little bit bigger, and especially since they're in the bigger armor and everything. So there's that. Let's get this guy, who I don't think is going to stand. Is he? Yeah, he is. Okay. Batman from McFarlane, a lot bigger, out of scale, but for anyone who wants to kind of get that comparison out of the way. A Mezco Batman right there. Again, just for height comparison. And then for those of you who have the 1,000 Toys Master Chief, there they are next to each other. Again, he's a little bit taller, as he should be. He's around the same height as actually the Wicked Cool Toys Master Chief. And yeah, very completely different styles, but they don't look horrible together. They do look weird together. I'm not going to lie. I'm saying they don't look horrible, but you can tell, like, he has that more polygon Xbox original look, and she has that really intricate armor design that's not as flat, it's not as angular, I guess. I don't know, but there you go. So overall, not a bad figure. It does have its pros and cons. I think the biggest con after messing with it just a little bit more is definitely the lack of the ankle articulation, because it stops her from being able to be posed actiony almost at all. You have to definitely angle her right so she balances on herself. So yeah, that does suck. It does hurt the figure a good amount. The lack of butterfly joints, although I kind of made a big deal about it, doesn't affect her too much because she can rotate her arm well enough that you don't really need them, but at the same time, they were there before, so why get rid of them kind of thing. They don't work that great. I'll say that right now. For Master Chief, I believe they didn't work almost at all. For Emil, I want to say that they were pretty loose. Same thing with Cat, so maybe that's why it's not on this figure. But fix it, make it better, put it back in. Aside from that, the legs, again, the hindering from not having the drop down little thing going on there hurts it a lot. If they had just added that joint right there, you know, we could get a lot more posing with the legs. So hopefully Wicked Cool Toys kind of takes that into account and does that for the next few figures or pretty soon or something. That would be great. Aside from that, again, not horrible. I'm glad they updated the torso articulation. Again, don't know if it's just going to be her or if Noble 6 or even the other Master Chief. Part of me wanted to pick it up when I saw it just to see if they had fixed anything. The other part of me was like, what if it's the same as the other ones? Might just not be worth it because, I mean, it's the same figure. It makes sense for them to want to release the same mold over and over again. One of my lights just died, so I think that's my cue to wrap this up. But if you're a fan of Halo 4 and 5, which I know it's really controversial and everything, especially 5, pick it up. If you're a fan of the comic books or the Spartan Assault game or anything, or just Sarah Palmer in general, definitely pick it up. I think it's a good representation of her. The head sculpt does look good, does need a little bit work, but I think it'll be just fine. We do get a good number of arms. The guns are great. The figure looks great with the other ones. So, you know, if I was going to give this a, 1 out of 10, I'd probably give it like about 7, probably, maybe. Yeah, around the 7, 6.5 to 7, somewhere around there. Not the worst figure I've messed with in the last few days. Definitely like it. Definitely having a little bit more fun with this than I did with Whis and Jack Sparrow. So, yeah, that's my review for the Spartan collection, Spartan Palmer action figure. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll be able to find Noble 6 sometime in the near future and do a review on him. Definitely looking forward to that one. Doubt I'm going to pick up the other ones. Might go for that Chief. Haven't decided. And yeah, more stuff coming soon. Again, Turtle videos. I still have 2 reviews to do. The figures are pretty old now, but other stuff keeps coming out. And I'm like, I should probably do that first. So that's why you guys are getting this video today, and thankfully I had time to film this video today. Now, if I have time to edit it, it'll hopefully be up on Friday, which is today's a Friday. If you're seeing this on a Saturday, and it says it wasn't uploaded the day before, then yeah, that's what happened. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.